What up? This your boy Don Flamingo, EGMG representing Eastside, ROC, and you're tuning into Nolazine TV.
More into like detail on like about this subject, because you was actually like on the radio before.
Yeah.
So this is like most of New Orleans artists hate.
Yeah.
Like, so I'm asking you this question. So far as your city right now,
No support from the radio?
do you feel like local DJs in the radio ought to do a better job of bringing?
Man, hell no. Let me tell you how I got on the radio, and this is 100% true. We were submitting our shit to Q93, and no disrespect to Q93, because I got a lot of good people over there. But Q93 is dictated by the program directors, which is the people who over them who tell them what to play. You feel what I'm saying? And I don't know what's the difference at what point New Orleans will discover like the strategy that Atlanta on, because like I said, when you go to the A, like you hear like a lot, you hear like a lot of like a big name artists, but it be times where like I'm talking about you can go Atlanta, listen to the radio an hour straight, and niggas you never heard. You feel what I'm saying? They on the radio, they break their artists, but they from the A.
And
but
they also have on like live radio. They bring
that's what I'm saying.
to talk on them.
I think our radio station, just the idea of it is still in like fucking Neanderthal times, dog. Like real talk. 'Cause I'm about to tell you how I got on the radio in Q93. When I had the record with Shaw, fella called Put It Down. I do this when I was working with Law. We used to be out there every day, I'm gonna say every weekend at the clubs at Rhythm City, fucking Key West, all this shit, promoting our shit.
You talking about a long time ago.
A long time ago, you dig? But before that, you know, we was submitting our shit to Q93. They wasn't taking the shit. I don't know why they wasn't taking it. We was offering the money, they wasn't taking the shit. But the competing station at the time was 104.5. You dig? We passed our shit to them, and they went to playing our shit. They did like I think it was like the hot or not or whatever, however they did the shit where they played and they let people call in and see if they wanted to keep, you know what I'm saying, they were fucking with the record. Or a lot of people started fucking with the record and they started playing that shit in regular rotation. And Picture Q93, I guess, picked up on it from there, and I wound up in regular rotation for Q93. But I mean, motherfuckers ain't do it on their own, you dig what I'm saying? So, you know.
So they never genuinely picked it up?
Never genuinely picked it up. They picked it up because that bitch was hot on another radio station. So it's like you had to. You had to, you feel what I'm saying? But yeah, man, we, as far as radio, dog, like we don't support our local artists in radio, but ultimately, especially in this day and age, going back to the independent standpoint, like you really don't need radio. Like nigga Currency ain't got songs on the radio. And this nigga popping, you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, he wasn't really tripping off it. The song with like Lil Wayne and all of that.
But that's my point. Being in the day and age we in musically, like you don't need the radio. You feel what I'm saying? They got niggas underground who making millions of dollars, dog, who you never heard of on the radio.
The only people really focus on the main radio is like the big. It's like
when you sign, when you sign the big labels. Yeah, and then that goes with. You know what I'm saying? They gotta get their money back. So whatever they gotta do,
their money back.
You feel what I'm saying? So I mean, but you know, ultimately, I mean, it is good, dog. Like I said, you know, it's just, you know, there's a lot of places you can't get around to. Like even in the city, you dig what I'm saying? You can't get around to. But if that motherfucker in regular rotation, motherfuckers that's on the West Bank, Avondale, or just places that you probably don't be at, they get tuned. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
There's a lot of places you probably would never
that you'll never get to, but then you'll be able to create a fan base if your shit was on the radio.
Right.
But I ain't tripping on the radio, though. I ain't no nigga who really like. I ain't no commercial artist like that anyway. You feel what I'm saying? So radio ain't really my cup of tea.
When did you first start like making music?
I wrote my first rhyme in like '95, man. What got me introduced to music, period. My pops, he passed when I was he passed when I was 12 years old, and the only thing he left behind was like a box of cassette tapes with various hip hop artists. We talking like Gang Starr, Public Enemy, Beastie Boys, just a plethora of just different old artists. And I was listening to music, of course, coming up in New Orleans, listening to old bounce music like T.T. Tucker and all that shit like that. But once he passed away, like I wanted to know like what he was on, and I started picking up on like what he was listening to. So I opened his box of music, and I think one of the first things I heard was Public Enemy, and that shit just got me involved in music, and I just been writing ever since. Matter of fact, my first rhyme was actually based on like the passion of him. So from 12 years old up until now, like I've been doing music.
Okay. But that was actually my next question. I was gonna ask you, like growing up, like who influenced you for start making music?
Well, who influenced? Well, of course, you know, Cash Money, No Limit. You know what I'm saying? You know, they was for sure the staples of the sound in New Orleans. But besides that, after I then got through like my old hip hop, as far as when my daddy left, you know, I was on Jay-Z, Nas, Big, you know, just all like top 90s, all this Wu-Tang. It's so many that, you know what I'm saying, to remember or to name at this point, but that's what really got me influenced with music. Cash Money, No Limit, Nas, Jay, Scarface for sure, you know what I'm saying, and shit like that.
Okay. Also, do you have any brand new projects coming up?
Yeah, I actually do. I'm working on this new project. I don't have a name for it yet, but it should be coming out top of the year, like early January or late February, something like that.
Okay. Do you have any features on it?
I don't really do features too much, dog. Cause when I do full projects, I just like to give people like 100% of me and what I'm going through at that time. A lot of stuff I write, it be how I feel at that moment. You feel what I'm saying? But if I do have features, which I do features, I usually just like let the artist do hooks and stuff like that. But I did just recently do a whole full album with my homeboy King Akeem from the East Side. It's called Only in America, classic shit.
When I first was introduced to you, but you was rapping with the Rap Pack?
Well, that was a group along the way. Way before then.
I'm just saying, you know, when I first.
Yeah. Well, when you first
jammed up, yeah.
Which considered me, Dapper, K Gates, myself, and Wild Luck. And it was dope because we put a spin on the original Rat Pack, which was Sammy Davis Jr., Dean Martin, and stuff like that. But like, I ain't gonna say the gimmick, but the idea for it was, you know what I'm saying, we was just niggas who was kicking some dope ass shit and just rocking suits and shit like that. You feel what I'm saying? Trap music, street
on like
shit.
106 in Park.
Yeah, we made it to 106 in Park and all that, you dig?
Okay. Well, let's bring it back. Like even before that. So, what was your first, original, rap name?
I used to go by the show. Okay. The show, you dig? Before that, it was Sideshow, and I Mean Law, which is Crack Tracks in like 2002 to 2003, and just for industry purposes, you know, he was like, you should shorten it up and change it to the show. And when I got with Rat Pack, that's when I changed my name to Don Flamingo. And the idea behind that was, you know, with the basically I was trying to like have like an alter ego, have like the show, and have like Don Flamingo.
Right.
And Don Flamingo, the idea came from just like the suits, and I used to wear the rose in my lapel. Like all of us had like different little swags. How we used to wear our suits. Like Luck or wear the cummerbund, Gates wear the suspenders, Dap wear the glasses, I wear the roses. And the term Don Flamingo, how I came up with that, it was just the idea was the company we was with at the time when we was pushing the Rat Pack. The idea was to start us off in Vegas predominantly. It's the same way the Rat Pack did. We was following their whole little formula, and I just thought Don Flamingo was like a cool name for, like, you know what I'm saying, nigga who wearing a suit and just sound like, you know, kind of like mobbish and shit like that, and it just clicked. And then I'm the type of artist that just move with the times, and by then I was going by the show for maybe like 15 years, you dig? So I just laid up there and just changed it 100% to Don Flamingo, and that's why I stand today.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I know you had like a lot of previous situations in the past, being signed to Manny Fresh and different like labels. So far as right now, are you signed to anyone?
Rock Nation.
Okay.
Yeah, Rock Nation and EGMG, which is my company.
So how did that deal come about?
Well, you know, like I said, we go rewind it back to when I was working with Law Crack Tracks. Excuse me. You know, he was my manager from like 2002 to 2005 before the storm hit. And when the storm hit, we kind of parted ways just off the strength of like, you know, I don't think nobody was sure they was still doing music. The hurricane had wound up like putting everybody in different scenarios, and he went that way and I went that way, just, you know what I'm saying, just again dealing with family issues at the time, trying to figure out what was the next move after Katrina and shit like that. You gotta understand, nigga been living in New Orleans all their life, ain't never moved from a 20-mile radius, you dig what I'm saying? So by the time you did when the storm hit, we had to figure it out. So nobody mindset was fully focused on music, but I never stopped doing music. So within that time, as time progressed, he wound up getting over at Rock Nation, and then he heard some of my shit within those years, and he heard the progression and just picked me up and brought me straight, you know, to Rock Nation.
Okay, so for like artists who don't really know, so how is it like being signed to Rock Nation?
I mean, shit, it's like any other label, man. I mean, you know, it depends on your work ethic. You feel what I'm saying? You know, nigga, I know motherfuckers who signed to, well, I mean, Rock Nation, one of the biggest labels, but I mean, it's a gang of other different labels. Cash Money, No Limit. There's a gang of artists that signed to those, you know, those labels and ain't really do nothing. It's about your work ethic and what you could basically.
You basically have to work.
Basically, what you can do for that label, yeah, you know what I'm saying? What you can do for that label, and once they see something in you, they just go full-fledged with it. You dig what I'm saying? And that's how it works. It really don't matter what label you sign to when you handle your business. Shit, you top priority.
So what's the average day like for you?
Average day? As of now, man, I just be with my kids, man. Football practice, my little girl rapping and stuff like that. Shout out to Lizzo too, man. We had remixed Lizzo hit record, and she just posted on her page for my little girl. You dig what I'm saying? Damn near 200,000 views in less than an hour. That's dope. So you know, I'm penning my baby shit. My baby got a career. You know, my little boy's playing football, and me. In between that time, I'm always finding time to do music and get in the studio, man, and just bang out.
Tell the people, like, how was it like working with the great, legend Mannie Fresh?
Man, that shit, I see, so the thing is, like, you know, I got this old saying, man. I always tell people, like you never want to meet, like, your idols, because when they turn out to be people that, when they turn out not to be who you expected it to be, like, that shit hurtful. But working with Mannie, dog, like I said, he a 100% New Orleans nigga. Our lives is parallel, man, and I learned so much from dude. You dig what I'm saying? It was awesome, dog. Studio nights, fucking drinking, having fun, and just banging out, creating like dope ass shit. You feel what I'm saying? And you know, the atmosphere like that, it keep the artist hungry, and then being around him and just watching all his accomplishments and shit like that. I mean, it just made me want to go harder at what I was doing with my craft. And yeah, man, it was dope, dog. Like, I ain't gonna lie, that's one of the best experiences I had as far as music, and I learned the most in that time period. You dig? So yeah, shout out to Fresh, man. That's my dog. It's my fucking brother.
Since you've been an artist, actually before Katrina and social media, tell the people, like, far as your knowledge, like what has been the difference from actually putting music out on like before social media and like after social media?
Well, everything digital now, man. It's funny because I was talking to somebody recently, and he was asking me, did I need a street team? I'm like, yeah. He like, man, I'm gonna go out there and pass out CDs, and I had to make him understand that, like, that's not the game, man. Hell no. Everything is digital. You feel what I'm saying? It's digital. It's more convenient. You feel what I'm saying? Ultimately, like, every artist, you can do it from home, and ultimately every artist, especially if you're independent, you literally have your career in your own hands. So wherever you want your shit to go at, it depends on the grind you put behind it. The days of pressing CDs up and selling them in front of that shit is done, man. Really, you could just do some hot shit, point and shoot that shit, upload that shit on the internet, and if it's hard, if it pop, you going viral. So actually, for artists, I would say it's much easier these days. You dig what I'm saying? I mean, it's saturated with a million artists. So you gotta find out distinctively what sets you apart from everything else that everybody doing. But once you figure that out, the shit cakewalk after that. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to all my independent artists who doing their thing, man. Don't give up. That shit get tough, but you know, you keep working that shit, man. Eventually it'll happen. Anything you do long enough, that shit'll work for you. You dig?
Okay. So being from New Orleans East, but I was actually watching YouTube like a few weeks ago, and like I saw a documentary you was over there. So tell the people, I'm like, what's the difference from growing up in New Orleans East to how New Orleans East has changed now?
Well, shit, man. Ultimately, I mean, so they gentrifying everything, you dig what I'm saying? So they sending everybody to the east. So it's much different than what it was. But I mean, growing up in the east, man, it was dope, man. I tell people all the time before Katrina, shit, between, what's that, Dowman to Bullitt, that's about a 5-mile radius, you dig what I'm saying? Before Katrina, I ain't never leave from the east, you dig what I'm saying? We had all the bitches. We had what, a mall, we had 2 movie theaters, we had a Walmart, so I ain't really have to leave the east. So me actually laying my foundation in the east was actually easy. I stayed in every part of the east. One of my tattoos say 7012E, which you niggas know I am the original creator of that. I got 7012E because I stayed in every section in the east, every zip code in the east, so 7012E for everything else. But I mean, like I said, growing up out there, it was cool, man, but it's different now because, like I said, everybody from everywhere else in the east. But that's been like that since Katrina because, like I said, I was the type of person, I didn't have to leave out the east. I had everything. But when the storm hit, nigga, I was living in Gertown. Then I moved to Holly Grove, you dig? Then I moved on the West Bank. Then I moved in the 7th Ward. So, I mean, that's basically the difference. Yeah, and the crime rate out, you know what I'm saying? That motherfucker outstanding right now. You dig? Y'all niggas calm down, man. Yeah, man, calm down, man. Y'all niggas getting busy too much, you dig?
Okay. So tell your fans, like something about you, that you don't show on your social media.
Well, really, dog, I don't really show too much. I mean, cause here's the thing, dog. You know, through my music, like I give you 100% of what I'm going through. I never play the victim in my music. If I fucked up in a situation, I put that in there. You feel what I'm saying? So I tell people all the time, like, I don't really have to get on social media and show you what's happening with me, because you could just go through my music and really just peep or understand what I'm going through in my life at the time. I don't hide nothing. I'm probably one of the most transparent artists in the city, probably in this fucking decade in the city. You feel what I'm saying? And that's only because, for 2 reasons. I mean, I'd rather do my music like that because, you know, a lot of people go through in life what you go through, you feel what I'm saying? And as an artist, you know, you kind of got that stigma about artists like, damn, everything kosher, everything good, when ultimately a lot of shit don't be like that. So I reveal that side of myself to my fans so they can understand, damn, this nigga a regular nigga and he go through what I go through. You feel what I'm saying? But I mean, yeah, man, I don't put too much of my life on social media at all because I give you everything through music, you dig? So it's like, you know, ain't no sense of updating you every day on what's going on when, again, it's all through the music.
Okay. So for your city, do you feel like other artists in your city like support one another?
I think so. Yeah, man, really, I ain't gonna lie, it's different from what it was. You gotta understand, dog, for the past 20 years, like, you know, Cash Money and No Limit never, like, really worked with each other. What you could imagine what the industry would have been like if they was, you feel what I'm saying? I think we'll be how Atlanta is right now if we actually came together.
And still lived it.
Yeah, you dig? And imagine, and imagine how just that mindset would have trickled down to every artist that's coming after that, you feel what I'm saying? I think it was a time in the city where nobody wasn't fucking with each other, but I do like the direction the city going, and niggas just collabing, niggas just putting bullshit to the side and just trying to, you know,
just need a few artists to get on and actually stay here. Keep bringing, keep reaching back down.
Yeah. I mean, but you know, shit, to each his own, man. Like, I ain't gonna say I understand that shit, but you know, like when you get so far in the game, dog, it's kind of, I ain't gonna say it's hard to reach back, but you know, just people just forget sight of what's important. You feel what I'm saying? You know, you get blinded by the money and shit and the fame and who you are, and forgetting you got people back home that just know you for the nigga who you are. Some niggas don't even call you by your rap name when you dig what I'm saying? Right. So, but again, like I do see a lot of artists working with each other, which I do respect. You feel what I'm saying? I'm talking about hoods that been beefing and shit and all that for years is actually coming together, making music and just making history for the city. And that's all this shit about, man. Just doing what we have to do for the city, man. Represent for the city toward, you know, for the industry, you dig? So yeah, we good. We gonna be alright, man.
So far as you, what is your most memorable concert performance that you had, and I'm telling people why?
In New Orleans, man, when I was on the tour with the Locks, bro, cause I mean, it was New Orleans, you dig what I'm saying? And at that time, I was doing something, especially signing Rock Nation that no artist was doing in the city. Oh, another one too was SOBs, and the reason why I say that, when I walked into doing SOBs, like everybody from New York was like, man, I hope your shit good. And nigga told me they booed Outkast there when they first came.
They booed a lot of artists.
A lot of artists.
But I was told in New York that Juvenile was the only person that they really embraced.
Oh, me too.
Yeah,
like when I tell you I came off that stage, they was fucking with me. You dig what I'm saying? Like I punished SOBs.
You gotta make them flicky.
And I did Irving Plaza too. I ain't gonna lie. When I was doing my set, I ain't gonna say I lost them bitches, but them bitches like kind of trying to boo me and shit. I cut that fucking music. I start spitting acapella. Them bitches go to bucket, you dig? Like New York are tough. Like if you ain't no fucking, well, like I say, now right now music's so different. You know, there's a lot of niggas who be coming up to New York, wild, crazy, little weird ass singles that's popping. But when I did that shit 2 years ago, like they was like, nigga, you gotta be on your shit, they'll boo you, and I punished that shit. You dig? So yeah, SOBs, and for sure home when I brought the Locks back home, and when I brought Rap City back home, cause I was on tour with Rap too. So yeah.
Okay. Also, do you feel like you have to move out your city? Once your music career, reach a certain milestone?
I mean, of course, man. I mean, cause when you cover all bases and all tracks at home, like, I mean, this bitch not like Houston. You feel what I'm saying? Like Houston, you can go platinum alone cause that bitch so big, you know.
And still stay there.
And still stay there. You dig what I'm saying?
Ride how you want ride.
Ride how you want ride. But I mean, yeah, I mean for any artist, just you know, I think every artist should seek growth at some point in your career. You feel what I'm saying? So you gotta get out this bitch. Now, do you have to necessarily leave this bitch and go move somewhere else? I don't think that. But if you at home and you moving around, then yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? You gotta get out this bitch. You know, it's only New Orleans. This bitch not big at all. You feel what I'm saying? So you gotta get out and put it together.
Speaking on moving out the city, do you feel like artists, at a certain point, if after they gain that major buzz, do you think they should still hang in their hoods all day and just be in the streets? I'm bringing up more of the topic of the Nipsey Hussle.
Yeah.
And also Boosie say, you know, that's the only place where you could possibly really get killed.
So check it out. Like every artist who ever got smoked in a city. You feel what I'm saying? But it's like at the same time, you know, some shit be spur of the moment. Like even with that shit with Nip, man, rest in peace to Nip. Like that shit it was just one of the wild situations. But I mean, ultimately, dog, I think you should never leave from where you from, because I always tell people this. You feel what I'm saying? The same people that you meet, the same people at the bottom that you meet going at the top, you can meet these same people coming back down. And I say that to say, just say you become one of the biggest fucking artists ever from your city. You feel what I'm saying?
And you fall off.
And how America is, you know, they wait till you get to the fucking top to tear you down.
Right.
But if you turned your back on all these people, right, that you came up with, and you make it to the top and you fall off, you gotta come back to them same people. So it's like you gotta maintain your roots from where you from. You feel what I'm saying? So I mean, I do believe in that. You dig? You can't just leave. Or if you leave, you have to keep in touch with the folks that stayed down with you. You feel me? Because you can't take everybody, and that's law. Period. You can't take everybody. You dig? So, you know.
Okay. Also, how old were you when your parents first realized that you do music?
Real shit, nigga. Like I said, I've been doing music since I was 11, 12 years old. My mom ain't believe until I called her one time after I signed with Fresh, and I'm like, I signed a man at Fresh, and I put him on the phone. And at that time, I was in my 20s. So.
When she finally started to believe.
Oh yeah, she believed now for sure. But I say all that to say, like, you know, mom used to tell me, like, nigga, go get a job. Like, this shit ain't work. You feel what I'm saying? Like, but you know, I tell people all the time, like, you know, your focus start manifest your reality. You can't never expect people to see what you see. You feel what I'm saying? You have to believe in that shit.
And it's also a process.
And it's a process for sure. And that's the beauty in it. You feel what I'm saying? The beauty is in the process. But now moms ain't believe until I had to call them, and this was years later, dog. I had to call and be like, look, I sounded fresh. I put him on the phone. She heard him. She's like, all right, well, you dig it.
After so many years, you're like, man, this music career ain't working.
Man, I mean, yeah, from the start of it, she was, I mean, it just seemed far-fetched to somebody who, you know, you gotta understand, like, I mean, shit, before really like hip-hop, like, you know, my moms grew up on fucking OJs and Luther Vandross and just watching these motherfuckers on TV. So, you know what I'm saying, for me to have that same idea, like I could do this, you know, to some people, that's foreign. Right. You dig? So it's like, you know, you just gotta make them believe. You just gotta make them believe, dog.
Right. Okay. So, on speaking on that, so has there ever been a time, like in your music career, I mean, you just wanted to give up?
Hell yeah, I tell people all the time, dog, like, you know, if you do music, and this just my theory, you dig? I feel like if you don't get to the point where like you won't give up, I don't think you was necessarily like 100% serious, because it's gonna get to the point where you put every fucking thing you have in your craft and your music, make all the right moves, and just shit is just not working at your pace for that moment, and that shit'll like mentally drive you crazy. You feel what I'm saying? Like knowing you doing all the correct steps you need to do, and everything you doing, you taking the right fucking advice from people to apply to what you need to be doing, and that shit don't be happening. Yeah, if you ain't never considering quitting, I don't think you was never serious about it. And that's just, I could be wrong, but I mean, I think that's what it is to me. You feel me? Because this shit'll drive you fucking crazy. You hear me? This shit'll drive you crazy, dog.
Okay. Also, what's your advice to one of the younger artists that's trying to follow in your footsteps?
I mean, you just can't give up, though. Like, for real, like, you know, no, you can't let nobody dream your dream for you. You feel what I'm saying? Just most recently, man, my cousin was telling me when we was on tour, and he could attest to this, like, ever since he could remember, dog, I've been doing music, you feel what I'm saying? And I always told him, like, nigga, music gonna get us out the hood. And he told me recently, he like, man, you know, when you grow up in, you know, you hear people tell you, or your adults or teachers or whoever tell you could be anything you know you want to be.
Right.
All right, but then you know you grow up and you go through your trials and tribulations in life as a man, woman, or just adult shit. Period. You know, a lot of shit will get in the way of what your dream was. You dig? But I say that to say, if you don't give up, dog. Damn, hold on, we got. Wait, what that question was is? What again? Because I gotta rephrase that because I had what I was.
Also, what's your advice to a younger artist that's trying to follow your footsteps?
Oh yeah, I was saying like for one, you can't give up. You feel what I'm saying? You can't give up at all. Like, and I was saying like, you know, there's a lot of people like along your journey that's not gonna understand again like what your vision is, you know. But you can't never let nobody like opinions of what you're doing hinder what the end game is. You feel what I'm saying? And it's like you just can't quit, dog. You feel what I'm saying? Like I made it this far. You know how many motherfuckers told me again, like, man, go get a job. You did go, you know, go back to school. Go this, you know what I'm saying? Go do this, go do that. And it's like this all I saw. This all I believed in. You feel what I'm saying? And you just can't quit, dog. I'm telling you, I tell people this all the time, dog. You know, it's real shit. You know, you do anything long enough, you can get results from it. Even if you're a bullshitter, you feel what I'm saying? You'll become good at being a fucking bullshitter. You dig what I'm saying? You just can't quit, dog. You just gotta, for sure, know what your goal is, and you just can't stop. And understand that along that process, dog, it's gonna be turbulent. You feel what I'm saying? But you know, you gotta keep trucking, dog. And that's it. I just didn't, well, you know, I did consider quitting before. But I mean, ultimately, like, this my only, like, fucking love, dog, beside my family. This the only shit I love. So it's like, I gotta keep it moving.
Okay. So, what do you feel like is the best song that you ever released so far? And I'm telling people why.
The best song?
Yeah. One
of my favorite songs is Life. It's called Life, featuring LG. LG did the hook on it. Life. And this song called Coin Flip, which is basically about, you know, a lot of niggas like do records, and it may be about themselves, or it may be about like them telling the story of, you know, for somebody else. Well, the story basically about, oh no, my point was like, you know, niggas write songs about niggas who be in the street and shit. And 9 times out of 10 when they do them records, it be niggas like wind up dead in jail, which is truthful, you dig? But the song called Coin Flip, cause I know niggas who been in the street all their fucking life. You know, niggas that been through the ringer, shot, then did bids, all this shit. But you know, these niggas still around to this day. Then I know some niggas who was born with everything. People wealthy, family wealthy, went to the best schools, went to the best colleges, and picture because along their journey, because they didn't have experience with like real fucking issues and things in life. They wound up fucking off and fucking all that shit up. So that's probably one of my favorite 2 records. But I mean, shit, it's a gang of motherfuckers I can go through. But just off the head, that's probably one of my favorite 2.
I'll tell people, I'm like, what do you enjoy most about being a music artist?
Yeah.
And tell people also, I'm like, what do you hate most about being a music artist?
Picture, the funny thing is I tell people this all the time. Contrary to belief, dog, what I enjoy about being an artist, especially a music artist, is the process of creating. Like, I love performing, dog. Like don't get it fucked up. I love performing, but I actually love sitting in the studio creating more than I like performing. The thing is, it's like when you take a beat, dog, you get some, you know, a beat from a producer or whatever the case may be, and you sit there with your real thoughts and everything you put together and piece this shit together to make this shit a record. And then you distribute this shit to the public, and they come back to you and sing that shit word for word. Like there's no feeling like that shit, dog. But the joy I get out of that most is me being able to go to the studio and create that shit. You feel what I'm saying? Just that moment for people to just cherish when they see you performing in person. What I hate about the music business is the fucking business, dog. The shit is snake pit. You feel what I'm saying? And everybody, dog, like it's rare you find a motherfucker like with like 1000% of your interest or your vision. You dig what I'm saying? And when you don't find that, like the business just goes south, dog. And once the business goes south, it discourages you as an artist to even want to continue to do music. I fucking hate the business side of it, dog. The business side was better, like all around. Now I love music, dog, but that's what I hate the most, the business side of it, because the shit's shady. You dig? The shit really shady.
Okay. So what's next for like Don Flamingo?
New album coming top of the year. Got the album out right now, Only in America, with me and my little brother King Akeem. And I'm about to just get on these visuals, dog. And besides that, like I said, just working on my daughter's career. She got a rap career going right now and shit like that. So I'm just multitasking, basically, doing what I gotta do, helping my baby do her shit, and just getting prepared to just fuck the game up with this new music and these new visuals I'm about to come out with. That's basically it.
Last but not least, tell everybody like where can they find you, and also like where can they find your music?
Oh yeah. All right. So yeah, my music on all platforms. Everything I ever drop on all platforms: Spotify, Tidal, Apple Music, anything that have something to do with music. My shit on there. And you can find me on Instagram, which is Don Flamingo, straight across, and on Twitter, Flamingo_XOXO, which I don't really do Twitter too much. So if you want to really look for me, you're trying to find me on the gram, Don Flamingo, @Don Flamingo, straight across.